Hello there. I know it's been a while. Sorry for not uploading for a minute and making you wait on a church girl for sex. Season 5 for Miraculous Ladybug has been an interesting season since it's had so much setup from the last two seasons. You had the distrust started from the cat block situation, which created this distrust between Ladybug and Cat Noir. This distrust would eventually lead to Ladybug eventually losing her Miraculous to Shadow Moth and Felix, which at the time created this hype going to season 5. So with all this setup, Miraculous aired, in my opinion, an important episode, or in my opinion, probably the most important episode of Miraculous Ladybug in a long time. At least top 5 all time. The episode I'm talking about is the Derision episode that was 2 episodes after the mid-season 5 finale. So this would be episode season 5, 14. So let's discuss what this episode was about. This episode builds about what happened or what's been ramping up since the mid-season 5 finale, which is the whole Marionette and Adrian relationship. So this episode begins with letting the audience know that Adrian and Marionette are going on a swimming pool date. The episode then goes on with Marionette freaking out, but let's be honest, the show's been going on with her freaking out since 2015. There are people that went to college and got their doctorates while Marionette was freaking out on this show. Marionette's been freaking out when it comes to Adrian since season 1 and has reached its peak back in season 2 and lingered off in season 4 since Marinette decided to be Batman and can't date anyone due to his superhero duties, even though Bruce Wayne was still snagging some baddies back in the day, which at the time was understandable and a whole welcome adventure. So Marinette is freaking out, but it's a different type of freaking out that she's been doing in the previous seasons. Usually when she freaks out, it's all the crazy faces and clumsiness. In this episode when she's freaking out, the background's changing and everything seems off. She's also seeming lack of energy too. This will continue until Marinette is at the pool and she locks herself in the changing room. Which as a fan, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, let's move on from this awkwardness between these two. We've been doing this for years. At least the other times we got crazy faces. Then it pans out to Adrian talking to Kim, trying to figure out what is going on with his girl. Says, my girl's acting weird, and I can't help her, or she seems obviously distraught. I'm gonna want to help her. Good job, Adrian. Way to drive the plot instead of being, hi, I'm Adrian guy. So we get something that changes Miraculous show from Kim of all people. The only man dumb enough or crazy enough to actually be in love with Chloe, or everything he has seen her do. This girl has caused the most accumulations in the whole show. So we get the Marinette backstory, which helps explains a lot of things. Pretty much Chloe, like always, has been a terror back in the day. Chloe has always been a terror, but the students were actually scared of her back in the day. Like, you can just tell people wanted not to even talk to her in the wrong way due to her bullying. Chloe is laying a dick on Marinette, to the point I didn't think it was even more possible for me to hate her after all I've seen her do. What made it worse was this was before the Alia days, so she didn't have that friend to pick her up that would always be with Marinette in the class. The teachers, of course, sided with Chloe since, as she says, her dad's the mayor every 5 minutes. Pretty much, Marinette had everything going against her, and minus the confidence she normally has. In this back, we also got to see Circle Quilin, her relationship with Marinette. And I know I'm pronouncing the name wrong, but just please bear with it. For those who don't know what Psycho Queen is, and I'm going to say her name different times throughout this video, just know I'm talking about this girl right here. We saw her back early in the season 5 episode Jubilation. She was I guess she was like the owner of the Yawn store or like a quartz store. She was the one with the glasses. And she was the one that pretty much let Marinette try on her ring. She was actually based on the earlier Marinette designs before we got the one we got now for the show. Just like how Felix is based on the earlier rough draft versions of Adrian. Silo Queen is like Alia, or I should say fills the same role as Alia does in the show. The only difference is at the time, she's not in the same class as Marinette, so she can only be and help Marinette so much at certain times. Also, crazy enough at this time, Marinette likes Kim, which, when they say love is blind, they must also mean it's deaf when talking about Marinette. But in that case, this is interesting, because if you go by how they interact, you could never have picked up that Marinette actually liked him at one time. I have always assumed Marinette was the type to love hard due to her devotion to Adrian, but I guess Adrian is just that special. So thanks to Sabrina being a better information gatherer than the NSA and FBI, Chloe finds out about Marinette's crush on Kim, and convinces Kim that pulling a prank is the best way to respond to Marinette's proposal to date. So he hands her a box of cockroaches, which is kind of wild. Marinette was very vulnerable as she was confessing to Kim, and the prank allowed an embarrassing video of Marinette, which Chloe apparently gets one every season of Marinette. Just look at the Felix episodes and the Animaestro episodes of season 3. So after this whole situation, Marinette, of course, is freaking out. The school shooter is almost born. Trauma level obtained. Marinette then goes on this whole monologue, which I think is what made the episode so important. She says, I'm never gonna not be prepared for the next boy I like. I know everything about him, all of his schedule, all his likes and other things. Like, you could tell that she was scared from the recent stuff in the episode. Solid Queen was able to stop the Burson video to come out, but she gets expelled for it. Which I kind of wish we got more with Solid Queen since she was willing to throw hands with Chloe. Just ask Chloe's phone. The story would end up with Solid Queen telling Marinette to stand up for herself and Kim laughing at the whole story, saying he was a joke. And ends with Kim laughing at the whole story, saying it was a joke. Adrian actually has a backbone and mounts off Kim, which caused him to get akumatized, which proves that love is blind and deaf, because Kim's girlfriend had to hear Kim nonchalantly play the situation off and literally went on to tell him about how pretty and cute Chloe is after traumatizing one of her classmates and literally dragging him into it. Kim is defeated, the day is saved, and Adrian tells Chloe off in the end of the episode. So why is this episode so important that I decided to make a video about it? First off, this episode probably gives us the biggest background flashback in the show since arguably the origins finale all the way back in season 1. Damn, back in 2015. Obama year. So we got to see why Marinette acts the way she does, why she's so obsessed with Adrian the way she does. If you watch the series, she is obsessed and has deeply studied Adrian. Her room is covered in photos all with Adrian. There's even episodes where she just mounts off his schedule like it's nothing, on the top of her head, to the point she's gonna know his every hour. Then she will come up with these crazy convoluted plans around her friends so that she can create the exact situation so that Adrian will like her. I have seen problems less complicated than this in calculus too, than what this girl is doing. Look at the Gigantium episode as a reference for what I'm talking about. I will admit as a fan, this can get annoying because she does all this stuff and planning and just chickens out at the last minute, which can make it truly infuriating and create more blue balls in relationships with religious church girls. Also, stalking behavior is not a good thing, even if Marinette's cringe makes it laughable sometimes. What this episode did is it actually explained a lot of Marinette's behavior, why she acts the way she does in a relationship while trying to date Adrian, why she does all the planning and freaks out about every detail. The last guy she wasn't careful with gave her a box of cockroaches, and she lost a friend to be expelled from school because of it. Instead of looking at Marinette as a quirky girl with unnecessary plans that need to be put on her big pants on and ask Adrian out, we kind of see Marinette in this new light. I didn't think I would see her in this new light. Marinette's planet now seems more reasonable to a point, or should I say it's more understood. Instead of someone to be laughed at, maybe we should look at her with some sort of mental problem and really someone that's recovering from trauma. This actually makes me want to cheer for her more, that she finds a happy relationship after seeing what she has to go through in her past. Like, I can't really describe how much this episode changes how much I look at the show. There was this scene near the end in which Sabrina got mad for Chloe calling everyone but her and Adrian a loser, and Sabrina actually looked at her with disgust like she might actually do something. But let's be honest, that's gonna happen because Sabrina literally got locked in the closet with no light to do Chloe's homework, and she's still Chloe's friend. Let's not act like she's gonna leave Chloe anytime soon. So all in all, season 5 has been pretty crazy when it comes to the relationships. We had the Marinette and Canoa relationship, which, as it being my favorite of the 4 relationship pairings of the main 2 characters, is the same and actually got me to care about. We had the Marinette and Canoa relationship, which I'm not gonna lie is my favorite of the 4 relationship pairings between the 2 main characters. But now this season's got me caring more about the Adrian and Marinette relationship, not just how cringy Marinette can be in that relationship. Marinette gets better each season, but do we all really need to wait 5 seasons to get this important backstory? Do we really need to have the penalty episode when we had this needed background that could have happened? So that's all. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great day and bug out.